Namaste, my friends. Today I am going to talk about liver function tests. Okay, liver function test. This is a very important long essay question or a 10 marks question. So, what are the liver function tests? Liver, as you know, liver plays a very important role in various metabolisms. So, liver function tests are these are a group of tests which are done to assess the function of the liver. Okay, so we classify liver function tests into 5 categories usually. So the tests which are done to measure the excretory functions of the liver. Okay, tests which are done based on the excretory functions of the liver, and tests which are done based on the secretory functions of the liver, and tests which are done to assess the metabolic function of the liver, and tests which are done to assess the detoxification function. Okay, and last thing is the enzyme panel, liver enzyme panel. So the enzymes which are done to assess the liver function tests. Okay, so first thing is the tests which are done to assess the excretory functions of the liver. Excretory function of the liver. So bilirubin. Okay, liver plays an important role in bilirubin metabolisms. Okay, so serum bilirubin and urinary bilirubin and urinary bilinogen, bile salts, all these things are used for tests are done to assess the excretory function of the liver. So first thing is what is the normal serum bilirubin level? Normal serum bilirubin level is 0.0 to 1 milligram per deciliter. This is the normal serum bilirubin level, and out of that there are two fractions, as you know, serum unconjugated bilirubin level and serum conjugated bilirubin level. So serum unconjugated bilirubin, normal serum unconjugated bilirubin level is 0.2 to 0.8 milligram per deciliter, and normal serum conjugated bilirubin level is 0 to 0.2 milligram per deciliter. Okay, this is the normal serum total bilirubin level, which is 0 to 1 milligram per deciliter, and unconjugated bilirubin level, which is 0 to 0.8 milligram per deciliter, and conjugated bilirubin, which is 0 to 0.2 milligram per deciliter. And what is the so how do we which test is done to assess the normal total bilirubin level means Vandenberg test. Okay, the test which is done to assess the normal serum bilirubin level is Vandenberg test. So what is this Vandenberg reaction or Vandenberg test means? So we had diazotized sulfonamic acid. This is the Vandenberg reagent. Diazotized sulfonamic acid is made to react with bilirubin. Okay, so when it reacts with the bilirubin, it gives purple color. Okay, so there are three types of responses. Okay, called direct response, indirect response, and biphasic response. Okay. So conjugated bilirubin, when you add it to the Vandenberg reagent or diazotized sulfonamic acid, it gives purple color immediately. Okay, so this is called direct positive Vandenberg test, and direct positive Vandenberg reaction is seen in conjugated type of with conjugated bilirubin, that is with in post hepatic jaundice. Okay, in post hepatic jaundice. And next thing is indirect response. Where do you see indirect response? So when you add a Vandenberg reagent, that is diazotized sulfonamic acid, to unconjugated bilirubin, it will not give any color, purple color. It gives purple color only after addition of alcohol. Okay, this is called indirect response or indirect positive Vandenberg test, and this is seen in pre-hepatic jaundice or hemolytic jaundice. Okay, And third type is biphasic response. Biphasic response means, so when you add conjugated bilirubin and unconjugated bilirubin, when unconjugated bilirubin, both unconjugated bilirubin and conjugated bilirubin are present in the serum. So when you add in such a case, when you add Vandenberg reagent, so first the purple color is seen, and this purple color intensifies. Okay, this purple color intensifies with the addition of alcohol. This purple color intensifies with the addition of alcohol. So this type of response, we call it as biphasic response. Why do we call biphasic response? The purple color is seen, but the color intensifies after the addition of alcohol. So hence we call it biphasic response or biphasic response. Okay. So when do you see biphasic response? Biphasic response is seen in hepatic type of jaundice. In hepatic type of jaundice, where both conjugated and unconjugated bilirubin is present, we see biphasic type of response with Vandenberg reagent. So this is about the three type of response. Direct positive response, where purple color is seen immediately with when you add Vandenberg reagent. So this is seen in post-hepatic jaundice or obstructive jaundice. And next is indirect response. Indirect response is seen in pre-hepatic jaundice or hemolytic jaundice. So when you add Vandenberg reagent to the unconjugated bilirubin, purple color is not seen, but it is seen only after the addition of alcohol. This is indirect positive Vandenberg test. And the third type is biphasic response. So when you add Vandenberg reagent to a mixture of conjugated and unconjugated bilirubin, first purple color is seen, but the same color intensifies after the addition of alcohol. This is called biphasic response. Okay. This is about the three type of responses. This can be asked as a short note question. This is an important short note question. That is Vandenberg test, Vandenberg reaction or Vandenberg test. So this is important short note question. So in pre-hepatic jaundice or hemolytic jaundice, unconjugated bilirubin is raised. Okay, unconjugated bilirubin is raised. And in post-hepatic jaundice or obstructive jaundice, conjugated bilirubin is increased or raised. And in case of hepatic jaundice, both conjugated and unconjugated bilirubin is raised. Okay. And the next thing, going to the next thing is urinary bilirubin. Okay. So urinary bilirubin, you measure it through Fauchett's test. You all know it through practicals. Fauchett's test, it is measured. And urinary bilirubin, so as you know, only conjugated bilirubin is water soluble. Conjugated bilirubin is water soluble and excreted in urine. So this bilirubin is seen in urine only in hepatic jaundice and obstructive jaundice, not in pre-hepatic jaundice. Okay, in pre-hepatic jaundice there is only unconjugated bilirubin, so it is not seen in urine, whereas in hepatic jaundice and post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice there is conjugated bilirubin which is water soluble, so it is seen in urine. Understood? Next is urobilinogen in urine. Okay, when do we measure urobilinogen through Ehrlich's test, and normal urinary urobilinogen is around 4 milligram per day. And what are the so this urobilinogen is formed only in is seen only in pre-hepatic jaundice. Pre-hepatic or hemolytic jaundice, it is seen in urine. Whereas in hepatic jaundice, it is normal or decreased, either normal or it is decreased. And in post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice, it is not at all seen in urine. It is decreased or not seen in urine. Okay, this urobilinogen. And the next is bile salts. As you know, bile salts, it is detected through Hayes test. We have done in practicals. bile salts are detected in Hayes test, and these bile salts is seen in hepatic and obstructive jaundice. Okay, in hepatic jaundice, to a small amount is seen, bile salts are excreted in urine, whereas in obstructive or post-hepatic jaundice, a large amount of bile salts are excreted in urine. Next is differential diagnosis of jaundice. Differential diagnosis of jaundice. This is a very important short note question. Out of a main question, it can be asked as a part of a main question. How write the differential diagnosis of jaundice. So there are, as you know, there are three types of jaundice: pre-hepatic jaundice or hemolytic jaundice, and in hepatic jaundice, and post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice. Okay, so you also know the normal serum bilirubin level, which is 0 to 1 milligram per deciliter, and normal serum unconjugated bilirubin level, which is 0 to 0.8 milligram per deciliter, and normal serum conjugated bilirubin level, which is 0 to 0.2 milligram per deciliter. Okay. Now this total bilirubin is increased in all three types of jaundice. Okay. Jaundice itself means the serum bilirubin level is more than 2 milligram per deciliter. Okay. Jaundice means the serum bilirubin level will be more than 2 milligram per deciliter, and if it is more than 1 milligram per deciliter, we call it hyperbilirubinemia. Okay, if it is more than 1 milligram per deciliter, we call it hyperbilirubinemia, and if it is more than 2 milligram per deciliter, we call it jaundice. So in all three types of jaundice, total bilirubin level will be raised in serum more than 1 milligram per deciliter, and unconjugated bilirubin, it is raised in pre-hepatic jaundice. As you know, unconjugated bilirubin is raised in pre-hepatic jaundice and also in hepatic jaundice, whereas in post-hepatic jaundice or obstructive jaundice, it is normal. It is normal. Okay. Now coming to the obstructive conjugated bilirubin level. So the conjugated bilirubin is normal in pre-hepatic jaundice. Conjugated bilirubin is normal in pre-hepatic jaundice, and it is increased in hepatic jaundice and post-hepatic jaundice. Conjugated bilirubin is increased in hepatic jaundice and post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice. So the next thing is urinary urobilinogen. It is increased in pre-hepatic jaundice. Normal level is around 4 milligram per day, as I already told you. So it is increased in pre-hepatic jaundice, whereas it is normal or decreased in hepatic jaundice, and it is decreased in post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice. Urobilinogen is increased in pre-hepatic jaundice, normal or decreased in hepatic jaundice, and it is totally decreased in post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice. And coming to the next two, bilirubin in urine and bile salts. Bilirubin and bile salts in urine. So we don't see bile salts and bilirubin in pre-hepatic jaundice. In urine, we don't see bile salts and bilirubin in pre-hepatic jaundice. Whereas in hepatic jaundice, a small amount is seen in urine. In hepatic jaundice, a small amounts of bile salts and bilirubin is seen in urine. And in post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice, we see a large amounts of bile salts and bilirubin in urine. Okay, this is about the differential diagnosis of different type of jaundice. This is very, very important from examination point of view. So once again I will tell about the differential diagnosis of jaundice, since this is very important, or else while revising I will tell you. So in this video what we have learnt is, so different types of liver function tests. Okay, liver function tests, based on the different types of metabolic functions of the based on the different functions of the liver. We classify it into excretory test done based on the excretory function, test done based on the secretory function. Okay, that is total serum protein levels and prothrombin time. Then test done based on the metabolic function of the liver, that is galactose tolerance test, and tests done which are based on the excretory function of the liver, that is bromosulfothalin test and hippuric acid test. And the last one is liver enzyme panel, or the liver enzyme panel. Okay, that is AST, ALT and alkaline phosphatase, gamma glutamyl transferase, 5-nucleotidase, all these things. Okay, these things I will be talking it in the next video. The rest of the things I will talk in the next video. But the first thing what I have taught you in this video is test done based on the excretory function of the liver, which is very important from exam point of view. So what are the tests which are done based on the excretory function of the liver? Serum bilirubin and urobilinogen, and urinary bilirubin and urinary bile salts. Okay, what is the normal serum bilirubin level? It is 0 to 1 milligram per deciliter. If it increases more than 1 milligram per deciliter, we call the condition as hyperbilirubinemia. And if it is increases more than 2 milligram per deciliter, we call it as jaundice. Okay, and next thing is so we measure the we measure the serum bilirubin by Vandenberg reaction. Vandenberg reaction is an important short note question. What is Vandenberg reaction? In Vandenberg reaction or Vandenberg test, we add diazotized sulfonilic acid to bilirubin, different bilirubins, either conjugated, unconjugated or both. We add the Vandenberg reagent, which is diazotized sulfonilic acid, and this gives purple color. Okay, purple color. So either the purple color can be seen immediately, or it can be seen after the addition of alcohol, or the purple color can be seen and the color will intensify after the addition of alcohol. So depending on this, it is classified into three types. So three types of responses, that is direct response, indirect response and biphasic response. In direct response, what happens? We add Vandenberg reagent, and we add Vandenberg reagent, that is diazotized sulfonilic acid, to conjugated bilirubin. So here the purple color is seen immediately. With conjugated bilirubin, the purple color is seen immediately. So this is called direct positive Vandenberg test, and this is seen in post-hepatic jaundice or obstructive jaundice. Next is indirect response. In indirect response, when we add Vandenberg reagent or diazotized sulfonilic acid to the unconjugated bilirubin, the purple color is not seen, and the purple color is seen only after the addition of alcohol. Okay, this is called indirect positive Vandenberg test. Okay, this is seen in prehepatic jaundice or hemolytic jaundice. And third one is biphasic response. Biphasic response is seen in hepatic jaundice. Hepatic jaundice, where both conjugated and unconjugated bilirubin are present. So when we add this Vandenberg reagent to the mixture of conjugated and unconjugated bilirubin, first we see the purple color, and the purple color intensifies after the addition of alcohol. This is called biphasic response. And the next thing is urinary bilirubin or bilirubin in urine. When it is seen, so it is seen only in as you know, conjugated bilirubin, only conjugated bilirubin is soluble in water, hence only conjugated bilirubin is excreted in urine, not the unconjugated bilirubin. So conjugated bilirubin is present only in hepatic and obstructive jaundice or post-hepatic jaundice. So this conjugated So we see urinary bilirubin. We see bilirubin in urine in hepatic and obstructive jaundice, and not in pre-hepatic jaundice. Whereas in hepatic jaundice, only a small amount is excreted in urine, whereas in post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice, a large amount of conjugated bilirubin or bilirubin is excreted in urine. And coming to the urobilinogen, urobilinogen is measured by Ehrlich's test. So normal excretion is around 4 milligram per day, and this urobilinogen in urine is seen in prehepatic jaundice. It is excreted in urine only in prehepatic jaundice, whereas in hepatic jaundice and post-hepatic jaundice, it is not at all excreted in urine. Okay, it is not at all. No, in hepatic jaundice, either it is normal or decreased, and whereas in post-hepatic jaundice, urobilinogen is not formed, so it is not excreted in urine. Next, coming to the bile salts. Bile salts is detected by Hayes test. So, and you have done the test in in our practicals. So, bile salts is excreted in urine only in hepatic jaundice and post-hepatic jaundice, not in pre-hepatic jaundice. In hepatic jaundice, only a small amounts of bile salts are excreted in urine, and in post-hepatic or obstructive jaundice, a large amount is excreted in urine. Next, coming to the differential diagnosis of jaundice. As I told you, this is very important to understand and also to and from exam point of view. So the three types of jaundice, pre-hepatic, hepatic and post-hepatic, and now we will see the normal level of bilirubin is 0 to 1 milligram per deciliter. Pre-hepatic jaundice, in all three types of jaundice, the total bilirubin is increased. Total bilirubin level is increased. That's why we call it as jaundice. As I told you, in jaundice it will be more than 2 milligram per deciliter. And coming to the unconjugated bilirubin level is increased in pre-hepatic jaundice and hepatic jaundice, whereas in post-hepatic jaundice it is decreased, normal, or we can tell it as normal. And conjugated bilirubin is increased in hepatic and post-hepatic jaundice and normal in pre-hepatic jaundice. Next, coming to the urobilinogen. Urobilinogen normal level is around 4 milligram per day, and it is increased in case of pre-hepatic jaundice and normal or decreased in case of hepatic jaundice, and in post-hepatic jaundice it is decreased. And next, coming to the bilirubin and bile salts in urine. Bilirubin and bile salts in urine is not excreted in pre-hepatic jaundice, whereas in hepatic jaundice, small amounts of bilirubin and bile salts are excreted in urine, and in post-hepatic jaundice, large amounts of bile salts and bilirubin is excreted in urine. So this is about the differential diagnosis of jaundice. So now in this video I have discussed about the excretory functions of the liver, tests which are done to assess the excretory functions of the liver. Next, in the next video I will discuss about the tests which are done to assess the other functions of the liver. Okay, thank you.